Hello, my name is Kaylin Render, and I am a creator from Detroit, Michigan. My journey as a creator seemed like it was going to be perfect. I remember creating my first handbag in kindergarten. As she lifted my handbag up, my mouth dropped in amazement. From that point on, I valued my art classes as if they were do or die. My skills were validated in high school. I was privileged to win contests as a result of my training. In college, I studied fashion design. I was determined to be one of the best there as well. Being that I was at the top of my game, I was blessed to study art abroad in Florence, Italy for 4 months. So all in all, as an artist, it seemed like everything was working out. As a freshman, I planned my life out to a T. Before being accepted to Western Michigan University, I read that they gave their students an opportunity to study in New York in an accelerated program their senior year. That opportunity validated my 15-year plan. Now, my 15-year plan went something like this. I was going to go to Western Michigan University and study super hard, get really good grades. Then after that, I would also work just as hard in the New York accelerated program. Then from that program, I would be inducted into an internship in New York in a company of my choosing. I would work really, really hard in my internship to then land a job in that same company. The plan was to work in a corporate retail company for 8 to 10 years to gain experience, build relationships, and acquire knowledge that could help me with the next step, which is creating my own company in the end. And I lived by it throughout college. So at this point, I'm a senior. And I remember working countless hours on the New York Accelerated Program application. I submitted it, very confident in my innovative designs. I just knew that they were going to get me into the front door. And after I submitted my application, I started playing the waiting game. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. And then afterwards, something really didn't feel right. So I decided to call the Fashion Institute of Technology to see what my determination status was. He said that I wasn't accepted into the program at FIT. I felt like the biggest disappointment walking. My plan was going so well up until this point. I knew that my journey was going to get harder and harder from this point forward. After getting off the phone with him, countless tears streamed down my face. As I sat on a twin-size bed in my dorm room, I told myself, Kaylin, you're going to be okay. Focus on graduating. Now fast forward to after college. I know what you're thinking. What happened to Kaylin's 15-year plan? Did it really all pan out how she wanted? So to answer your question, it's going, but it's not going as planned. After countless non-acceptance letters to hundreds of companies I've applied to, all of my plans I created during college and after college seemed like they weren't working. It literally crushed me at the time. I couldn't understand why someone that devoted their whole life to art would go through obstacle after obstacle. But now looking back on it, it makes sense. I love reminiscing on the past and thinking about why God has placed me in the position I'm in now. The best time to reminisce about my life is when I create artwork. When I create artwork, I get inspired by the world around me. I usually ask myself, what do you want to tell society right now? What do people need to hear? What cause could you shed light on? How are people suffering, and what can you do to help them get through it? What do they need to hear or see to brighten their day, inspire them, or encourage them through a life that they're struggling with? Those type of questions are implanted in my mind, and they usually sprout visions of change, programs, tactile art, and fashion. Things start getting really creative. Also, while reminiscing, I've came to the realization that I had to be put through the fire of tiresome jobs, disrespectful bosses, being belittled and undervalued to get me where I am today. The obstacles with my past employers, job rejection letters, and non-acceptance school letters all help set my desire on fire. Each situation amplified my hunger. I'm not going back where I came from. I have to succeed and continue to do work that's greater than myself. I will impact millions of people through God, fashion, art, beauty, and community. Receiving the Joann's grant will help me lay the foundation. A strong foundation is necessary for a company to succeed. This grant will help me acquire resources, technology, and equipment. This grant will help me get to the next step and beyond. God placed these dreams on my heart, so I can't let them down. Thank you so much for giving people like me and people that look like me the opportunity to inspire, empower, and create. This opportunity means the world to us. Lastly, keep in mind that I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.